What's up, lovely people? Hope y'all are well. I am finishing one meeting. I don't know what the hell happened, but I normally deal with my own area, like the way my company is structured. We all have functioning regions, but because of my experience, I wound up getting involved in everyone's shit this last week and a half, which is why my schedule is so weird now. It's even weirder than it was 2 weeks ago. Hey, Joe. Yeah, the sky's always falling, man. Didn't you know that? Um, I will tell you that across the board, every travel warning I've seen, hey, what's up, coffee? Hey, hillbilly. Hey, farmer. Um, Across the board, every travel warning I've seen pretty much says, do not go where there's a war. Why they even bother putting this out, I don't understand why. Hey, farmer. Hey, hillbilly. Sorry, I missed a few people. I think I said hi to Joe. I can't see who the hell else is in here. I don't know why my live chat's being weird today. I can't see what that... So now the chat is double lines. So like, I can see Joe said he's making hash browns, but then something else went on top of it. So it's hieroglyphs, hash browns. So I just had to deduce that he was making a hash brown. So right now they've got obviously travel warnings to Israel, travel warnings to Palestine, travel warnings to Ukraine, Russia, duh. But so apparently the Houthis got pissed at the Egyptians because the Egyptians didn't want Hamas in their country, so they shot rockets at Egypt. So now Egypt's pissed at the Houthis. I'm like, what the hell? That's like, sounds like a bar fight where like there's dudes arguing over here and then some dude just walks to some random table and smacks a guy off the bar stool. That has nothing to do with what's going on. But what I am seeing is they're saying, hold on, now the chat looks really bizarre. Let's try that again. Nope. The more I try and fix it, the worse it gets. Hold on, let me see if I can fix it now. Can you like actually read the chat? Because if I showed you what I'm seeing right now, it looks like hieroglyphs. Like I literally can't see what people... I know people are commenting, but I can't see what it is. So in any case, they are reporting warnings now in parts of Europe. And they're also saying... generally speaking, if you're trying to go to the Middle East, so Lebanon is probably now has a warning. They're pulling embassy personnel that are non-essential pretty much out of everywhere except for Saudi, UAE, Qatar, our little friends over there. Libya has its own problems. I don't think they're going to get involved at all. So if I haven't greeted you, by the way, the chat suddenly decided to become gibberish. So I'm seeing a bunch of symbols, which is weird as shit, by the way. I've never seen this before. I've offended the internet gods. So what I will tell you is I've seen footage of buses here in the US in weird places getting pulled over full of guys that aren't supposed to be here, like they're clearly from other countries, with backpacks, and they're getting pulled over because they run a stop sign or some dumb shit, or they break down, and they're basically emptying the bus, and it's full of military-age dudes. And I've seen this now in Arkansas, and I have to see if I can find that footage, and I'll post it. Arkansas, Louisiana, we know they're in Texas already, so that's not a big surprise. Idaho and Ohio. So it's been really weird watching, while we're in the midst of this shit show over there, we have a bunch of people who don't seem to belong here, but are here, and are almost all exclusively men between the ages of like 20 and 40. So I don't know what to make of that, but to me it's not bueno. Now I don't know if you guys saw New York preppers warning, but the Senate, or I think it was the Senate, passed a resolution, or maybe it was the House, I'm sorry, basically reinforcing the fact that the nuclear armed Iran is not acceptable, and the US has the right to do whatever it thinks it needs to do to prevent that from happening. And it almost, with all the aircraft carriers and the air assets we now have in the Middle East, it almost sounds like we're planning something. We just haven't said that part out loud yet. Good Lord, this chat is absolutely weird. I really have no idea what just happened here. Like, everything is gibberish on my end. I can't read a daggone thing. But in any case, so I guess you guys can chat while I'm sitting here trying to decipher these hieroglyphs that are on my screen right now. So this guy just got into the truck next to me, and he's having some kind of disagreement with someone on the phone. But he looks like when Oscar the Grouch gets angry, like that big wide mouth arguing. And I'm trying not to laugh at the guy while I'm doing a live stream, but it was kind of funny. So I don't know who pissed his ass off, but he was hot, and he's probably full of coffee too, because I just left a coffee place. Folks, if you plan to travel, I will give you some tips. One, and I know I have a family member, one of my kids is actually going overseas for business. And I already called, and I'm like, did you do the following? And they're like, of course, Dad, because, you know, we're your kids. But smart plays. One, they're going to hit 3 countries. They've already gotten currency for all 3 countries in the from the local bank, and they have it in their possession. So their trip's still 2 weeks away, but they've already got the currency at least to get to the country. Once you're in Europe or wherever it is, you can exchange at the banks locally, and it's typically a lower rate because you get screwed in the airports. So they've already gotten their currency. Now let's check. I told them, make photocopies of your passports and keep them in your carry-on, because you're gonna I have my passport, you know, when I'm traveling, in my pocket, but I keep photocopies of it in my backpack on my carry-on in the event I get a pickpocket hits me or something else, I get robbed and they take my stuff. I have another copy in my check luggage and another photocopy in my backpack. It's not as good as the original, obviously, but if I go to a consulate or an embassy somewhere and I'm like, look, this is me, but they stole my original, they can at least look me up and validate me somehow. Also, since it's a company trip, they've already talked to the company and they have locations to go in the event something pops off wherever the hell they are. They are bringing extra carry-on. They're paying for the extra carry-on bag so they can keep some extra clothes, toiletries, etc. with them. And not everything's in the checked luggage because, again, what happened in Russia, you know, they basically had a riot in the airport, and who's going to unload your checked luggage from the airplane with people fighting, right? Nobody's going to do that. It's going to stay in the airplane and you're screwed. So if you've got to travel, folks, right now, the only place I did not see emergency alerts, ironically, was Mexico, other than general crime, and Argentina and Peru. Like, South America was fine. Basically, if you leave this hemisphere, everything has a travel warning right now. And it's so weird to behold because normally that's not the case. You know, it's like, oh, I'm going to Europe. Every European country had an alert about some kind of protest. If you are going to travel, even if you're traveling domestically, US, Canada, Mexico, you know, North America, check the local news before you get there, because at least one employee that I know of showed up in a city and there was a protest. As he drove into the city, he's like, yeah, they were having a protest about Israel and Palestine. And he said, I almost drove into it. So he went to option B. He went and found a bar. and he said, I called the guys I was meeting with. I'm like, I can't make it. And they're like, no, meeting's canceled. Screw it. We'll do it day after tomorrow. And it screwed up his schedule. So he's like, I found a bar. And he went there and had a burger and drank. So I guess if you're going to be in the apocalypse, you can do it drunk, and that works too. But a lot of weird travel alerts. So folks, take those extra precautions, because some of us have to travel. You know, it's easy for people to say, oh, I don't leave home. Yeah, some of us, you got to. It's just what it is. And also keep in mind, if a family member has an emergency, like one of my kids has an emergency, my ass will be in the truck. So you have to go, and you have to do stuff. So for the record, for those of you who came in late, my entire chat, every time someone puts something, it's hieroglyphs, which is some weird ass shit. I have never seen this before. If I had my other phone, let me see if I can show you what I'm seeing, because it's so freaking weird. Let's see if I can get okay. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's basically what I'm seeing, is just this gibberish here. It's not even letting me read what the hell y'all are writing. So I just offended the internet. It's like, yeah, Rod, no, dude, be gone. It's like, you're an asshole. You will see no text today. Anyway, guys, look, ladies and gentlemen, if you gotta travel, make sure you take precautions, plan out your trip. This gal almost ran into my truck while I'm parked. If you cannot drive a pickup truck, do not drive big vehicles if you don't know how to back them in. That's just should be a law. I literally, it's 2 spots to my left, and she almost ran into me head on at a coffee place with no traffic. It's just, I really need to order that dash cam. I've seen a few. I might order one and just stick it up here so you guys can see the stupid I deal with. Folks, take those precautions. Plan your trips out, because right now everyone has an alert because there are protests everywhere. And I don't think it's happened in the Western Hemisphere yet. There was some in South America. I don't know if it was Argentina or Brazil, which actually have large Jewish populations too, which is weird. There have been some in the US, New York, Chicago, etc. I don't think we've seen the big part of it yet. I think it's gonna pick up speed as we get into next year. Fortunately, it's cold. Yeah, no one can drive, I'm telling you. See, I get little bits and pieces of the text. I think because it's cold, a lot of places it's getting rainy and windy. Protests are not as fun as they would be in the fall when the weather's nice, right? But you never know. Assholes don't need an excuse to be that way. Folks, if you're gonna take a trip outside of North America or outside of your home country, wherever you happen to be, please do your homework. Pay for the extra carry-on if necessary, so you have what you need with you physically in the event something happens in an airport and they cannot get your luggage to you, because then you're SOL. And if you have all your change of clothes, your meds, whatever, in your checked luggage, and you don't have some with you physically, you kind of screw yourself. At least have a 24 to 48 hour allotment of meds, maybe a change of clothes, some toiletries, so you can at least brush your teeth even if you're stuck in an airport, and maybe use a toilet stall, change your underwear or something, you know what I mean, like or change your t-shirt so you're not there. Have an extra jacket so you can dress up or dress down, as the case may be. But folks, take those precautions if you got to hit the road. And we're getting into the holidays, right? A lot of us are going to try and travel. I know we may. So we've already decided we're driving everywhere. Like, I even asked my wife if she wanted to fly to visit friends and family in different places. She's like, nope, if we can't drive, we're not going. She's like, not with all the shit. She said, it's just our luck. She's like, we're the freaking Murphy's Law family when it comes to that. And I'm like, you're right. We've been together for 27 years, and I promise you, if it was going to be weird or go wrong, it's happened to us. So by now she's like, yeah, screw it. Nope, we're driving. So folks, be smart about your travel. Be smart about your preparations. If you are staying at home, because a lot of you are staying at home, grab the extra preps if you can afford it. Store your food. Be smart, folks. Are there any imminent threats that anyone reported? No. There's a lot of puffery overseas that can spill over to us. Right now, they're not saying like, oh, we're going to go blow up this place or we're going to do that terrible thing. Nobody knows. And nobody's announced anything other than be careful. So, which is just common sense for most of us. But if you're traveling, you're going to strange places, do your homework. Take the time to do the research before you walk out the door. Don't get caught like those folks in the airplane in Russia. I mean, that's just, even if it wasn't a riot, it was just a blackout. Now you're stuck in a stupid ass airport. Your luggage is still in the airplane because they can't see what they're doing. And you're stuck there for 48 hours. So take the time to plan out your stuff accordingly. So you do the best you can ahead of time so you're not struggling with it later. And also, if you can bring a charging battery for your cell phones, or, you know, like the little backpacking solar panel that you can charge your shit, bring one of those, whatever you think may fit the bill and that you can bring without getting in trouble at the TSA or wherever. And I won't go into TSA's regs because I think that half of them are stupid, but plan accordingly, folks, and be careful out there. Just play it safe. Be smart. Don't panic. It does no good. Just be pragmatic. Nobody's reported an imminent threat to anyone in Canada, US, or Mexico other than the usual crime and bullshit. But things happen, including blackouts. So just plan yourself out as we get closer to the holidays. I've actually got trips planned the next few weeks, you know, 1 day, 2 day trips. And I'm already doing my homework weeks out as to where I'm going, what the roads look like, what I can and can't carry. Fortunately, every trip I'm taking will honor my carry permit, and I can pretty much carry whatever the hell I want. So that's always a bonus for me. And make sure you get your practice time in if you do carry, okay? I've watched people at the range last time I went literally locked up a Glock 19. I don't know if it's from lack of maintenance or they were limp wrist shooting and they jammed their own slide and they stovepiped it. Did not know how to clear it, so proceeded to walk in a circle with a loaded and jammed handgun. And the range officer went over there and took the pistol away from them. Not ill-intended, they just were incompetent. Practice those things. Because if you need it and you jam or the bullet does not go pow, you're going to need to know how to clear a tap, rack, and roll and the whole 9 yards. Don't be the person who they say, well, they had a firearm, but guess what? They screwed up and they're dead anyway. Don't be that guy in the news. Don't. Anyway, folks, plan your trips. Be careful out there. I will see you all later. Sorry I couldn't answer your questions in the chat. Like I said, it's all gibberish on my end. So until next time, be good, be safe. I will catch you all later on. Take care.